I'd heard a bunch of complaints about Anno being nerfed into oblivion, and I'm not an Anno player, but I thought to myself, I should try this adorable little pebble. And I'm so fortunate to spawn in Gator Heaven. Takes me a real long time before I feel comfortable enough to creep out of my bush. And as the world's slowest playable, and as tough as a piece of stale candy, how am I supposed to get away? Nothing but the stomping of teeth and the gnashing of feet, or something like that. I think I'm doing a pretty good job of avoiding gators when the most Path of Titans thing happens. Of course. Might as well just ring the dinner bell. My incredibly short life is flashing before my eyes. I have got to get out of here. There's no way he didn't see me. Counting my lucky stars, I make a break for it. It sounds like the gators are distracted, so I use it to my advantage. The bushes are few and far between, but so far they've served me well. These gators got me sweating hard. Eventually, the footsteps recede, and I make a final dash for freedom and hope for the best. I was fortunate and survived my first gator-infested island. It's storming and dinos are raging all around me. But I'm just a little pebble trying to do my Waystone quest and not get murdered while I have all of this growth. Which means being super sneaky in all this chaos. Yep, that slippery little sucker is looking right at me. And I'm just hiding in my bush, looking at how much growth I have left, listening to the ominous flapping of nearby wings, and wondering if the snake is going to aggro on me any second from now, exposing me in my very vulnerable state to every nearby enemy. Unfortunately, I grew enough to stop my timer, and my little bit of movement spooked the snake. Luckily, my unintentional Anno screaming didn't bring anyone to me. I was able to go hide in a bush for a second. So something that always catches me by surprise is when I see my name in the chat. Thanks for watching Bad at This Game 12467. And I'd also like to mention a couple of other people like Dance Dino and Creator Roadrunner for reaching out to me at one point or another and supporting the channel. It really does mean a lot to me, and I really appreciate you guys, especially considering how small of a creator I am, and the fact that I've only recently this year attempted to upload on a schedule. I say attempted because look how late this video is. I try. And of course everybody else who might have been in the chat, if I didn't respond right away and you asked a question, I have a really valid reason for that. It wasn't because I was ignoring you. No, it's because I wasn't paying attention and that I was brutally attacked and then Murdered. The rest of my growing time was actually me not being noticed. Or when I was noticed, they were pretty chill. They even tried to show the skater where some food was. Maybe he figured it out. Maybe he just thought I was bouncy. I don't know. I had Pebble business to attend to. And oh, thanks. In fact, so much nothing happened that when I hit sub-adult, I decided to wander into Cedrus Forest on purpose. Of course, it didn't take very long at all for my tiny, scrawny little Anno to get somebody's attention. Pardon me, I'm interrupting these shenanigans to bring awareness about how bad of an Anno player I am in the beginning. After getting a decent feel for Anno, I did swap out fortification for reinforced plates. I'll forego a trophy for my life, because I know that Rex did not know how close to death I was. The sound of wings had me imagining getting dive-bombed by a Thal or something like that. It's hard to find good cover in a place like Dry Fang. Luckily, the flapping from my nightmares just turned out to be a random baby. I normally don't really mess with babies. But sometimes spicy babies just gotta be put down. Spicy babies get the bonk. Especially when I'm this low on health. I don't know who his friends are. Dry Fang is literally swarming at the moment. I'm just hoping I don't run into a Rex that's regained its courage. Luckily, the conch was friendly. I finally found a safe spot to hunker down and get a little bit of health back, though the nearby stomping has me insanely nervous. A wild Struthie, of course. Then I realized I could just Struthie drift all over the place. This was fantastic. An absolute match made in heaven. Struthies. Literally the best thing to happen to a nano. And then honestly, I don't know if they DC'd or just gave up. Because as a Rex, he could have ran from me at least. Maybe not the Struthy. Maybe the Struthy made him give up. But either way, I'll let the Struthy have the trophy. He deserved it, that little champ. And that was my experience playing Anno. I really enjoyed it. Much to my surprise, I've been enjoying the tanky, slow herbies. I did end up purchasing the albino skin because I thought it looks really good on Anno, and because my Anno doesn't really have to hide from anything. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any kind of preferred Anno build or any tips or tricks, because I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it quite a bit. Plan on continuing to play Anno. I honestly would recommend it as a solo playable. It might actually be my favorite solo playable at the moment. All right. Well, take care. It's been fun. Bye.